Hi, I'm Edgar.
And I'm Heather.
Welcome to another episode of Does a Decade Matter?
Where generations X and Y intersect to discuss, argue, and even sometimes agree on movies. It's necessary.
Oh, yeah, it is. Are you going to share that or not? Okay. That seems fair. So you're saying I can't mix single malt scotch with this Diet Coke?
No.
Okay.
This McClellans single malt low lined is all mine.
Man, can I see? I will not drink it. Can I see that? Yeah, McClellans. Single malt Lowland Scotch whiskey. Okay. I don't blame you for drinking this straight from the bottle after watching this movie.
Nope. So.
My side of the conversation is brought to you by Leather Chair.
And High Life.
Well, this is Diet Coke.
Well, it is now.
And it's, I'm drinking Hams. Is the beer this week.
Yes.
They are not paying for a cent of this.
No, but they should.
No, I don't know about that. Anyway, so we just watched a movie.
So once again, I picked a movie that neither one of us had seen, but based it on something else that happened in our universe that makes me want to watch a movie.
Why do you hate me?
Because the Defenders?
That's not a good defense.
No. It got me curious. So we watched the Defenders in one sitting.
Yeah, we did.
Yesterday.
It was worth it.
It was amazeballs.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Defenders is better than Avengers.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I am not concerned about how you feel about that. I was stating my preference.
Okay. So, in Defenders, there was Elektra.
No spoilers! She died during Daredevil Season 2.
I slept through that.
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that. I feel bad. I might even actually watch it on my own.
Okay.
While exercising.
Like, I'm gonna rewatch Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
I want to rewatch Luke Cage. Like, whoa.
Okay.
And I don't know about Jessica Jones. I mean, yes, but not as badly.
Now, do we not feel the need to rewatch Iron Fist because we just watched it months ago, or because
it's awful?
It doesn't need to be rewatched.
So thank you for the Iron Fist segue.
Uh-huh.
The one thing that I can say about this movie, in a positive light, is that the fight scenes were better choreographed.
Whoa! Slow your roll.
Than Iron Fist.
Counterpoint, they were on par with Iron Fist.
As in awful?
That is not a compliment to Iron Fist.
No. Nor this movie.
These fight scenes were... Okay.
So, this is how I feel about this movie. I felt I understood the bad guys better.
Okay.
Because I had watched The Defenders and Iron Fist.
And Daredevil.
Yes. Because they actually explained the hand. Where this movie did not. It was just ninjas that disappeared when you killed them.
Yeah.
And
which I think I had a couple what the fuck moments.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
What the fuck is this shit?
Well, because I was like, alright, now you have a dead dude on your roof, and then all of a sudden, poof, he was gone.
Yeah, in a flash of light and then, like, green dissipating smoke. Like, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I really didn't like that.
Okay, there wasn't that much to like in this movie.
It was a really good concept. As in, the source material is probably a lot better than what they did with it.
Okay, so you must have never read anything written by Frank Miller.
Nope.
Count yourself blessed.
You mean the comics?
Yeah.
Did Elektra have her own comics?
She did.
Okay.
She, I want to say, was introduced in some Frank Miller written Daredevil, and he killed her off. And I believe Marvel said, like, okay, well, we're not going to resurrect her unless we get your permission. And then they didn't get it. But Frank Miller is a garbage writer anyway.
You mean resurrect her again?
Yeah, no, like, he didn't bring her back from the dead. He just killed her.
So they brought her back without his permission?
I believe so.
Okay.
This all happened before I was born.
Oh.
But anyway.
Why is Frank Miller a garbage writer?
Frank Miller is also responsible for such films, well, the comics that were the basis for the films, 300 and Sin City and probably some other stuff. I think he also wrote RoboCops 2 and 3.
Oh.
And he just... My problem with Frank Miller...
Is he a garbage person or a garbage writer?
Both.
Okay.
Any female characters he writes, 100% becomes a de facto sex worker.
Oh.
Like, all of them. Like, that is the only position for women to fulfill in his stories are as sex workers.
Oh.
With the exception of Robin in Dark Knight Returns, because she's 14. And I think he got pushback from having underage sex workers in his comics that were, in the mid-'80s, still for everyone, in air quotes.
Wow.
But, like...
That's messed up.
The Queen in 300 whores herself out. Sin City, all of the female characters are prostitutes.
That would explain why Tarantino was attracted to it.
Yeah. I own some Frank Miller comics because I once was a 19-year-old male.
Yes. You were.
I'm not that guy anymore.
No.
Thankfully.
No.
Ugh.
I like the story. I just don't of the movie.
The basis?
Yes.
You have the assassin. You have
I also
Remark.
like Grosse Point Blank.
Yes.
Which is basically the same story.
Have we done that one?
Yes.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yes, we have.
But that's not the first episode that I've forgotten that we've done.
True facts.
Yeah, like, I will say that there were some, like, good ideas here that were executed poorly.
Yes.
Like, the character with the living tattoos.
Ugh, God, that was awful.
It was badly done. It was not a bad idea.
Okay.
And I think part of my problem with it was that it was... That character just felt super whitewashy.
In every sense.
It's like, oh, white dude with white dude dreads.
Yeah.
With a bunch of native or indigenous inspired tattoos that come to life. You know, like a, what's the word? Totem.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that is some white people shit right there.
Yeah. He was born in New Jersey.
The dude's name in this movie was Tattoo.
Yeah.
His
name is Chris Ackerman.
Right. But his character's name was Tattoo. They mentioned that precisely once.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot.
Like, as far as the other bad guy hench people...
Yeah.
They didn't name names. Like, who was the big black dude who could, like, stop bullets and was unstoppable? Was that Luke Cage? Because he seemed a lot like Luke Cage.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
It's like, oh, he stops bullets and is real strong. Did he have words?
No.
Did he have a name? Did anyone address him at all?
I don't think so.
Nope.
But it wouldn't make sense for that to be Luke Cage.
Correct. And there was, I guess her name is Typhoid.
Oh, the
one who is just
killing everything?
Walking pestilence. Well, you could have just called her Pestilence.
His name is Stone. In the movie. The big guy, who's not Luke Cage.
Seriously?
Yes.
His name is Stone?
Yes.
As in a rock?
Yep.
God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was his third movie.
Out of?
Not that many.
This came out in 2005?
Mm-hmm.
How much work has he gotten since then?
He hasn't done anything since 2013.
Okay.
And not in anything I think we would know.
Okay. It just...
Oh, after this he played a guy in The Longest Yard with,
Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen that. But, like, if you're going to have a movie with... I would even say strong hench people.
Yes.
Which is what these guys were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You had What's-His-Name from Die Another Day, which is, in my opinion, the single worst James Bond movie.
The Will Yoon Lee?
Yes.
The leader of the pack. I regret saying that.
Get out of my house.
I totally regret saying that now.
as well you should.
Uh-huh, he was in Wolverine.
Yeah, okay, so, like, presumably he had a name, right?
Mm-hmm. They actually called him by name.
Okay.
A couple of times.
I wasn't paying attention because this movie...
Stick,
okay, Stick
used his name.
That. Alright, no, okay, so you've mentioned Stick.
Yes, who I really only understood, once again, because I watched all of the Netflix series.
Right. I liked Terence Stamp as Stick.
Okay.
I don't know if I like Scott Glenn more as Stick.
Okay.
From... I think he was just in Daredevil and Defenders.
I kind of like him better. I think as an actor, I like him better.
Yeah, Scott Glenn, I think, is... For playing an American, Scott Glenn is better.
Yes.
Terence Stamp is such an English actor, so you get all of the English parts of that.
Yeah.
It's like, are we looking for Shakespearean? Not necessarily. Okay. Well, maybe don't cast an Englishman then. Because they're all like that?
Yes. I'd like to point out that your favorite part of this movie is it didn't make its money back.
Oh, and I'm glad. I'm so glad it didn't make its money back. Go ahead.
They left it open for another movie. Not like wide open, it was already not
right.
That kind of thing. But they left it open.
Mm-hmm. She's riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Not slumped over her horse.
Nope. And so they left it. I'm just glad they did not act on it.
Okay. And speaking of whitewashing.
Yes.
With a character, Elektra Nachos.
We ate nachos.
We did stop the movie to make some nachos. Because we needed some kind of carbohydrates after a day of drinking.
Not a day. An hour and 39 minutes of drinking.
It felt like a day. We weren't even halfway through. Like, we made some nachos. And I think the reason we made nachos was because her last name is Nachos.
Yep.
It's not nachos, it's nachios.
Right, which I also only know because of the Defenders.
Right. Okay, again. For a character who is Greek with a name like Elektra Nachios, they cast Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, they
who is...
White!
Not Greek.
White!
White as shit.
So white. If your shit is white, you have barium issues.
I have a lot of barium issues. I was about to say. There's ghost-faced deuces all day.
We've rooted for those ones.
Yeah, it means you don't have blockage.
Yes.
Anyway. I think at this point it's just the booze talking.
That's true.
I don't blame it.
No. I am not sorry we watched this movie.
I am.
I am happy it's over.
Me too.
It had one of my favorite actors from SG-1 in it. The guy who played McCabe.
Okay.
So that was a plus for me.
There was a moderate amount of drinking.
There was sci-fi actor, like what we like to refer to as Vancouver Canadian sci-fi actors.
The dudes who just live in Vancouver for the Vancouver shows.
Yes.
So, we're making a sci-fi show. Great. I'll call Vancouver.
Pretty much.
Hey, Vancouver. We're going to do some sci-fi.
Y'all meet at the quarry.
Just line them up.
You know which one.
Quarry! It's not sci-fi without a quarry.
True facts. So, I now never have to see this movie again.
This was bad.
It was as bad, if not worse, than I anticipated. So.
I think what would have made this movie better is if it was worse.
Like, campy worse?
Yeah. Like, okay, so this was simply bad.
Yes.
This wasn't so bad it's fun. It was just plain bad.
It took itself seriously bad.
And it was seriously bad.
Yeah. It wasn't one of those, like, they knew they were making stuff.
Right. It wasn't this one's for the fans.
Yeah, this was just bad.
It was this'll be for everyone. And we'll make a boatload of money. Like, no, you won't.
And no, you didn't.
Because...
Did Daredevil make its money back?
I don't know. But, like, that one wasn't good. I don't think that one was well received.
Yeah, so it doesn't make a lot of sense that they then made this movie, but it might have been one of those where they already had it under contract and done.
Or, like, the marketing people said, we're spending so much on this movie, you have to justify making something related.
They made it it was released 2 years later.
Yeah. So, presumably, Daredevil did well enough, and they went into production on this one.
Right.
Although, I think Jennifer Garner said that the only reason she did this one was because of a contractual obligation.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they signed her on for more than one, and this was just kind of what she had to do.
Yeah. It seemed as much.
And I will give her credit, like, it seemed like she was trying.
Yes.
But there is only so much of a bad story you can, like, fake your way through.
Daredevil did make its money back.
Shit.
It made half its budget in the first weekend.
Oh.
So it opened well.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so you're talking, what, 2003? Mm-hmm. Okay, so 2003, so that's before Batman Begins. Mm-hmm. 4 years after X-Men. Probably around the time of X-Men 2. Mm-hmm. Which was great. You got Spider-Man, which I want to say did well. You're still years before a Superman movie again.
Yeah.
So it could have been like, oh yeah, these Marvel properties, they're pretty fun. They're pretty good.
Yeah, we can still do what we need to do.
And then you released Daredevil. Yeah. Which was not great.
Nope. They got better.
We'll find that out next year.
Marvel movies got better.
Once
Marvel Studios happened.
Once Marvel Comics created Marvel Studios and said, okay, which movie rights do we still own? ...
We'll see you in January. Mm-hmm. Because that's when we get to do our first one.
Yes.
Super excited.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for that. Is that...
Thank you for listening to this episode of DADM.
Our theme music was provided by bensound.com.
You can download us from SoundCloud, iTunes, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Follow us on Twitter at DADMpod, like us on Facebook, or email us at dadmpod@gmail.com.
We'll see you next week.